At first glance, it looks like any other website, a news article, a product review, a social media post with thousands of likes and dozens of comments. You read it, you scroll past it, maybe you even share it, and you never once stop to ask the question. But here's the strange part. What if the article you just read wasn't written by a human being? What if the review you trusted was generated in under 2 seconds by a language model? What if every single comment under that post, the praise, the arguments, the inside jokes, was produced by bots talking to other bots? And what if you are the only real person in that conversation? Think about that. This is the dead internet theory. The idea that most of what you see online, the content, the engagement, the users themselves, is no longer human. It's automated, fabricated, fake. And as recently as 2026, the data started to confirm it. The dead internet theory didn't start in a university. It started on an obscure internet forum sometime around 2016 to 2018. Image boards like Wizard Chan, places where people who felt alienated from the mainstream internet gathered to talk about what they were seeing, or what they thought they were seeing. But the theory didn't truly take shape until early 2021. On a small forum called Agora Road's Macintosh Cafe, a user who called themselves Illuminati Pirate published a long, carefully argued post. The title was simple: Dead Internet Theory. Most of the internet is fake. The post laid out a timeline. According to Illuminati Pirate, the internet had already died, somewhere around 2016 or 2017. That was the turning point. That was when the bots stopped being a minority presence and started becoming the majority. That was when algorithms stopped curating human content and started generating synthetic replacements. The post spread. It moved from Agora Road to Reddit to Twitter to YouTube. By September 2021, The Atlantic magazine published an article that brought the theory to mainstream attention. The title said it all. Maybe you missed it, but the internet died 5 years ago. At first, most people dismissed it as just another internet conspiracy, the kind of thing you read at 2 a.m. and laugh about the next morning. But then something changed. The evidence started piling up. So what does the dead internet theory actually claim? It's not just there are bots online. Everyone knows there are bots online. The theory goes much further. The core claim is this: at some point in the mid to late 2000s, the internet crossed a threshold. Human-generated content, the posts, the videos, the reviews, the comments made by actual people, stopped being the majority of what you see. It was replaced by automated content, AI-generated text, bot-driven engagement, synthetic users designed to look and act exactly like real people. But the theory doesn't stop at observation. It goes into motivation. Why would this happen? Who would benefit? Here's where the conspiracy part begins. The theory proposes that this wasn't an accident. It wasn't just companies cutting costs with AI. It was, according to the theory, a coordinated effort. The original post specifically named the United States government as the primary actor. The claim that the government was using AI-powered systems to gaslight the entire global population, to control narratives, to shape public opinion by creating a synthetic reality that felt real. Now, you can choose to believe the government conspiracy part or not. That's where the theory divides into what researchers now call the weak version, just the observation that bots dominate the internet, and the strong version, the claim that this is deliberate, coordinated manipulation. But here's the thing. Even if you reject the conspiracy entirely and only look at the weak version is no longer a theory. It's measurable, it's documented, and it's happening right now. Think about that. Not the government conspiracy, just the observation that most of what you interact with online may not be human. When was the last time you read a comment section and felt genuinely connected to another person? When was the last time you scrolled through a social media feed and didn't feel like the algorithm was showing you the same 10 things over and over? When was the last time you searched for something on Google and the results felt alive? If you're struggling to remember, you're not alone. In fact, you might be experiencing exactly what the dead internet theory describes, not because you're paranoid, because the data now supports it. Let me give you some numbers from 2025 and 2026. These aren't rumors. These are reports from cybersecurity firms, internet infrastructure companies, and academic researchers. In 2024, for the first time in internet history, bots generated more than half of all global web traffic, 51%, more bot traffic than human traffic. The internet had crossed a line it had never crossed before. By June 2026, Cloudflare, one of the largest internet infrastructure companies in the world, reported that 57.5% of all web page requests on their network were automated, almost 3 out of every 5 visits to a website, not human. But the truly staggering number came from AI agents. These aren't simple bots that just crawl pages. AI agents take action. They click links. They fill out forms. They browse the web the way a human would. And in a single year, traffic from AI agents grew by 7,851%. Not 7,851% total, 7,851% growth in 1 year. Suddenly, the dead internet theory wasn't just a forum post from 2021, it was a statistical reality. But traffic numbers are abstract. Let's make this concrete. Let's talk about the platforms you actually use. On X, formerly Twitter, independent analysis suggests that bots make up approximately 64% of activity. More than 6 out of every 10 accounts interacting with posts, liking, retweeting, replying, may not be real people. LinkedIn, the professional network where you post your resume and connect with colleagues. Researchers found that 54% of activity is AI generated. More than half of the engagement on a platform built on the promise of genuine professional connection. Then there's Facebook. In 2025, internal documents and external analysis revealed that a massive percentage of interactions on the platform are automated. Dead profiles, bot accounts, AI-generated content designed to look like real people sharing real lives. But perhaps the most revealing story comes from Dig. If you remember Dig, it was one of the original social news sites, the predecessor to Reddit. In January 2026, the original founders, Alexis Ohanian and Kevin Rose, decided to relaunch Dig as a human-only social network. No bots, no AI-generated content, verified human users only. They called it a return to the real internet. Within 2 months, they shut it down. The reason they gave? An unprecedented bot problem. Even a platform explicitly designed to exclude bots couldn't keep them out. The bots overwhelmed the humans so completely that the human-only internet became impossible. Think about that. A platform built by experienced founders with the explicit mission of being human-only couldn't survive 2 months against the bot tide. What does that tell you about the platforms that aren't even trying to stop them? But bots on social media is only one layer. The dead internet theory goes deeper. It predicts that search engines, the way we navigate the entire web, are being corrupted by synthetic content. Here's a statistic that should genuinely disturb you. In 2025, researchers estimated that 74% of newly published web pages contained AI-generated content. 3 out of every 4 new pages added to the internet, not written by humans, generated by language models. Now think about what Google does. Google indexes the web. It crawls pages, ranks them, and presents them as search results. But if most new pages are AI-generated, what is Google actually indexing? What are you actually seeing when you search for something? The answer, increasingly, is AI slop. Content farms use large language models to generate thousands of articles per day, product reviews for products that don't exist, news summaries of events that never happened, how-to guides written by an AI that has never performed the task it's describing. These pages are designed not to inform you, but to capture search traffic, to show you ads, to harvest your data. Google's own search quality has visibly degraded. Researchers and users alike have documented a steep decline in the usefulness of search results since roughly 2022. Queries that used to return helpful human-written content now return pages that feel hollow, generic, recycled. The irony is almost too perfect. The dead internet theory suggested that search engines were suppressing real human content in favor of curated, potentially artificial results. But the reality might be simpler and more disturbing. The search engines aren't suppressing human content. The human content is being drowned out by a tsunami of AI-generated noise, and the search engines can't tell the difference anymore. Now, documentary honesty demands that we separate the conspiracy from the data, because the dead internet theory isn't one thing, it's a spectrum. On one end, you have the weak version, the claim that bots and automated content now dominate the internet. As we've just seen, this version is verified. Cybersecurity firms confirm it. Internet infrastructure companies report it. Academic papers document it. The bots have taken over, and the data proves it. On the other end, you have the strong version, the claim that this is a coordinated government conspiracy to control the population. And here, the evidence gets much thinner. The original Agora Road post claimed the US government was using AI to gaslight the world, but no leaked document, no whistleblower testimony, and no investigative report has ever confirmed this. The more mundane explanation, that companies are chasing profit by automating content creation, explains the phenomenon without requiring a conspiracy. Search engines aren't censoring human content because the government told them to. They're drowning in AI slop because the economics of content creation have been completely upended. Social media platforms aren't deploying government bots to manipulate elections. They're being overrun by commercial bot farms that sell fake engagement to the highest bidder. But here's the strange part. Even if we strip away the conspiracy entirely, the reality we're left with is still deeply unsettling. The internet as we once knew it, a place dominated by human creativity, human connection, human voices, no longer exists. It has been replaced, not by a government plot, by the invisible hand of automation economics, by the simple fact that it is now cheaper, faster, and more profitable to generate content than to create it. And that might actually be scarier than a conspiracy, because a conspiracy has a villain. A conspiracy can be exposed, stopped, defeated. But an economic trend driven by market forces? That doesn't have a face. That doesn't have a headquarters. That can't be overthrown. So, where does that leave you, the person watching this video? The person who, at this very moment, is consuming content created by a human being, or at least you hope it is. The dead internet theory, in its purest form, asks you to consider something deeply uncomfortable, that the connections you feel online may not be connections at all, that the conversations you participate in may have only one real participant, that the information you trust may have been written by something that doesn't understand what it wrote. But it also gives you a choice, because being aware of the dead internet, not the theory, but the reality, changes how you move through the digital world. You start asking questions you didn't ask before. Who wrote this? Why was this recommended to me? Is this engagement real or manufactured? You start looking for signals of humanity. A typo that an AI wouldn't make, a reference to a specific place and time that only a real person would know. A moment of genuine, unpolished, imperfect human expression in a sea of synthetic perfection. And maybe that's the ultimate irony of the dead internet theory. The more automated the internet becomes, the more valuable real human connection becomes, the rarer genuine content gets, the more it matters when you find it. The internet didn't die because we stopped creating. It died because we stopped noticing the difference. But now you know. And knowing changes everything. The greatest mystery of the internet may not be whether it's dead. It's whether we still have the ability to bring it back to life.